So I'm back at looking at the Lemans PCB, and last time we got the graphics working and we got the score and the timer to display in the proper location. It looks good. I think all the graphics problems have been resolved. That was from all the 9314s. Those are a quad latch that's kind of customized. I was able to dig up 4 working ones, which this board I think only had 1 working one and 3 bad ones. There was 4 total on the whole board. So replacing those, got the graphics working. Now we're going to focus on audio, I think. So if I play the game, I've got the motor noise in the background, and when I push the gas button I can hear it. If I switch gears, mostly they change noises. But when you hit the wall, no crash sound. So that's what we're going to focus on first, is the crash sound. Also notice that the timer is not counting down. So crash sound first, and then we'll switch over to the timer. I don't know what other sounds could be missing. I'll just have to play with it, figure it out. But definitely the crash sound. So let me work on that. Here's the schematic for the crash sound. I've probed around in here. Things look okay, except for right here. Let me focus here. This gate here, it's got 2 different clock signals. The 2V is the vertical, off the vertical clock chain, and so in the 16V is also a vertical clock chain. The 2V is 8 times faster than the 16V. And those signals are here, but they're not. This is dead. This output is not changing. It's always high. So I'm going to change this out and see what we get for the audio, see if that doesn't fix the crash sound. Let me do that and I'll be back. So this chip here, you resided right here. I've socketed it and put a new one. This is just a 74, originally it was a 7400, which is a quad NAND gate, and I put a 74 ALS 00. That's going to be fine for that application. So now when I coin it up and I drive it into the wall, takes a little while. I don't have any steering yet. We have crash sounds. So that chip was definitely bad. Yeah, that's working great. That's crash sound sounds great. Yeah, so this booger, this one was made in 1976. So it's pretty old. Anyway, one problem solved, moving on to the next. All right, so we've got 2 schematic fragments that deal with the clock countdown on the screen. We have the timer circuit here that pulses once every second. It's a 555 timer chip. Now that works. Let me show on the screen. So we're going to look at the output of the 555, which is pin 3 at location B8. So got the scope going. Look, pin 3. So you can see it's pulsing approximately once every second, going low. So that's the timer. That clock is active. So when I start the game, we should see that number counting down as we play the game, but it doesn't. So the second part of the schematic, or the second schematic fragment I should say, is here. Now I don't have the whole schematic to show where this pin 3 off the timer goes. It shows it drops off to the bottom. I'm assuming it goes in here. So let me probe pin 4 of C4. Pin 4. Where's pin 4? Okay, pin 4, C4. So there's pin 4, C4, and yes, that's where the clock signal comes in. So that's a counter. I believe it's an up-down counter, but it's going to be configured to do one way or the other, probably a count down. So it's a 192 at location C4, and I need to look at pins 2, 3, 6, and 7. So pin 2 isn't doing anything. Pin 3 isn't doing anything. Pin 6 isn't doing anything. Pin 7 is high. It's not changing. It might be trying to change. It looks like it's dipping there, but it's definitely not working if it is. All right, so pin 9 should be high. It is. I've got a ground problem, I think, with my probe. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's better. So pin 9 is high, so that means it's enabled. Pin 5 should be high to tell it it's an up counter. Yep, so it's counting up. And pin 4 is the data line coming in. That's the clock. So there's the clock. And let's see. Pin 11 should be high, I think. It's low. That might be the problem. What I'm looking at is here. It's got a start signal that's low. And pin 11 on both of those, I'm not sure if that's an enable or what, but it's low. Well, I guess if it's an enable, it's supposed to be low. All right, so I'm suspecting that C4 is bad. If C4 is bad, it's not going to be able to talk to C5 or B4. It's never gonna pass data to B4 to count down there. So let me try swapping out C4 and see what we get. Okay, so I got that chip replaced, and counter is now counting down, but it's counting down in increments of 2. I don't know if that's correct or not. I'm gonna have to look that up online, watch a YouTube video on somebody that has one of these machines. If it's supposed to be single digits, then that's another bug that's got to be fixed. I've got a new problem though. I zapped one of the chips, and I don't know which one yet, but when I start the game up, the car is rolling on its own. It's like the gas pedal is going without being pushed. So I need to figure that out. It's not supposed to do that. It's just supposed to sit there. That might be it for tonight. I might look at this problem to see why it's rolling on without being gas pedal. But everything I was wanting to accomplish, the crash sound and the timer, it's working. Now I can push the gas pedal and it makes noise, so I'm not sure why it's rolling. Anyway, good progress for tonight, and that's it for now.